Today we are going to draw this cute little dragon together. Let's get started right now. To begin our drawing, the very first step will be to carefully sketch out the head. Simply start by drawing a nice, smooth circle on your paper. Carefully mark the exact spot where the animal's snout will be located. The long, slender legs, the physical structure of the body, and carefully identify and mark the entire upper torso area, the incredibly soft and very delicate little paws that you see right here. And right here, we will have the neck section. And the long, slender, tapering tail. And furthermore, in addition to this, at the end of the tail there will be a little flame. And there will also be wings here, but we'll add them later in the process. Let's start outlining the snout. The entire upper part of the head. Next, the ear. Now go ahead and draw 2 sharp horns on the head. There is also a third one right in the middle. For the next step, carefully begin to outline the soft and rounded shape of the belly to define the character's midsection more clearly. Let's examine the front legs in detail and consider their function. The smooth and gradual transition towards the very end of the tail section. Now, we are going to carefully add some intricate details to the tail section to make it look exactly like a flickering flame. So, right here in this area, we will indicate the individual tongues of the fire by drawing several little triangles just like this to create a realistic effect. Once we have finished with the fiery tail, let's move on and begin to draw the sturdy hind legs of the creature to complete the lower half of its body. And now we add the wings. The wings will also feature these very small, sharply pointed tips at the ends. Well, that's roughly how we've made the sketch. In this specific spot right here, we are going to carefully draw the eye, a happy little smile, and the nose, and then there will also be several distinct stripes added onto the bright yellow part of the body, and we will proceed to shade this entire bottom area in a very dark tone. You can also take the time to make the tail section right here quite a bit thicker than before, making it look really nice and impressively big for the final design. And now, just before we finish our drawing today, let's decide that our little dragon will be covered in spots. We are going to add many small colorful spots all over its body to give it a unique look. We should also make sure to include those same distinctive patterns along the entire length of its tail too, so that the design looks perfectly complete and detailed. You can proceed in any completely random order that you might prefer, arranging the elements however you like, and then once we have finished this part, we will carefully and gently erase the pencil lines of our preliminary sketch. And furthermore, in addition to this, we outline. We begin our drawing process today by referencing the initial lines we established in our preliminary sketch. First, we carefully outline the shape of the head to establish its proportions. Right here, we should immediately mark the positions of the horns to ensure they are placed symmetrically. We continue by refining the outline of the head and defining the shape of the ear. Next, we will move on to the next set of details for the character's facial features. And right here is the long pointed snout. We are the ones who very carefully create the shadow here on the yellow part. We indicate the nose, the front upper paws. Next, we carefully draw the long curved tail. Now that we have completed the previous sections, let us move on to the next step by carefully focusing our attention on detailing the hind legs. And this bright orange flickering little flame on the tip of the tail. By utilizing these incredibly sharp and precise physical movements right here, we are able to carefully mark the flickering intensity of the fire's burning orange flame. Next, we will proceed to add a bit more intricate detail to the delicate structure of the wings. We carefully outline each of these sharp pointed tips located at the very top of the object to ensure every detail is captured clearly. We continue to deepen our understanding. Right here, like this. It will clearly show on the aircraft's main wing. We carefully darken the entire area significantly. Then over on the other side, for the back wing we apply a darker shade to it in exactly the same manner. In addition to that, we also carefully apply a soft layer of shading to the wing surface itself, which helps to ensure that it looks remarkably light and delicate in the final image. Furthermore, the back wing can even be made a bit darker so you can clearly see the shadow, which effectively demonstrates that it is positioned directly behind the main body. Just like that, we naturally draw the viewer's eye. Right here in this specific spot, we will have a bright highlight, and then we carefully fill in all of the rest of the eye with a deep black color. Moving to the belly area, we are going to carefully add these decorative stripes, adding these thin little lines, just as I mentioned earlier. We also darken it slightly, just a little bit. And then we carefully draw each of these tiny little spots, using a very light and delicate touch to ensure they look natural. We carefully highlight some of these vibrant flames on the tail area so that not everything is rendered in the exact same tone or the same repetitive shades. In addition to this, we also meticulously add small decorative spots on the paws and just a little bit more detail here and there to ensure the entire character design looks visually interesting and complete. Now we are going to carefully shade our whole little dragon. By adding these soft shadows and gradients across its entire body, we can give the creature a more three-dimensional look and truly bring our drawing to life. In this demonstration, we separate the head from the body here to clearly show the subtle shadow located under the neck, or rather, the one falling directly on the neck surface. Furthermore, in addition to all of that, next we carefully color in the pointed horns. Furthermore, we also apply some shading to the head area to ensure the lighting looks consistent across the entire character model and to create a better sense of depth. We thoroughly go over every single detail. Once again, you should apply this carefully in all of the absolutely necessary places. And now our little dragon is finally ready.